So the man I was seeing said he doesn't want to see me anymore because I have 7 kids. Well, why didn't you tell me that 3 months ago when you knew that 3 months ago? You're telling me 3 months in that it's because I have 7 children that you don't want to date me anymore? And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to men, is because they will play you like a fool. I'm for the kids, like, they're okay with it, they don't mind it. They don't mind it. Well, they obviously mind it. They mind it, and he played me like a fool, and he wants to tell me now that, oh, well, actually I'm not okay with 7 kids. You could have said that 3 months ago instead of wasting my time. And I told him I want more kids. Yeah, I'd like 1 more child before I'm done. I would like 1 more. Sorry, one of them's talking in the back right now. And he said, like, he'd cool with that. Like, he'd like another child too. I mean, he's a baby dad himself. He has children. He knows what this is like. He knows what dating with children is like. I just don't know why he doesn't want to date me now. Do you guys think that this is, like, right or wrong of him? Because personally, if you don't want to date someone for having 7 kids is one thing, but to lead him along when really the whole time...
I mean, 7 kids is a lot. It's a lot of responsibility. I mean, maybe he could have said that, but God dog. I mean, 7 kids?
So a lot of women have asked me, why do men like going through things alone? And honestly, I believe most men do this because they feel like telling a woman about their struggles, knowing that she can't provide a solution, is honestly and truly a waste of time.
A woman in the comments said, this response makes me realize women need to learn to be loving and safe for men to feel comfortable enough to speak of their struggles. Makes me realize you weren't thinking about that before.
Well, y'all be sitting here acting like y'all who catering to a man? Who having dinner ready when he get home from work? Who running his bath water? When y'all say y'all don't do that, real bad, I don't say nothing. Crickets. Because if my man want it, he's gonna get it. Amen. Stop. They wake me up out my sleep and say he want me to go cook him a 4-course meal. Guess who's getting a 4-course meal? And dessert.
Bro, a man saying, but I still hit though, is the most diabolical comeback ever. Honestly, nuclear bomb level comeback. So ladies, if you're ever thinking of publicly bashing a man, think first, did he hit it though? If that answer is yes, more importantly, if it's shut up. You know what I mean? Like, delete the tweet, delete the video, let it go. I just saw some streamer on here who said that exact comment. And I can't even lie, as a woman, like, I wanted to be in this corner because she was like, it wasn't that great, you know, like, maybe it was small, whatever she was saying. And his response was, but I still hit though. Like, and I just sat back for a second, just in shock, and I was like, damn, but he's right. And like, women will never be in a position to be able to say that because we're not doing any of the hitting. Like, it's not like you could say like, yeah, but like, I laid it on you. Right. But like, he still entered you. That's the problem. That's like evolutionary, the problem with this argument. And that's why they're always going to win it. So, ugh.
I really cannot be friends with no bad, because what do you mean we finna go to this hotel room and make a quick $500? But who's we? I'm going to the phone to play with my Legos.
Women deserved more when they were bringing stuff to the table that was respectful, and when they had the attitude of, I expect things from you and you're entitled to expect things from me too. This is a mutual respect situation, right? It's just not that way anymore. Now it's do for me and I ain't doing for you, right? It's, oh, you got to do all this, but I ain't do, I'm just pretty and that's all I got. That's what, and they're promiscuous, and is it nasty? Look at these OF girls. This is what we're dealing with in modern times.
If you're a guy that walks up to girls and says hi only to the one that he finds attractive and ignores every other girl.
I'm going over for closure. I'm going over for closure. I'm going to hold your bush when I say this. Why is there no bush? Why is there no, you're going over for closure? Stop!
Love getting on the internet talking about, if I give you a chance to hit this, you better knock the Sonic coins out this. Excuse me, sweetheart. You didn't let everybody knock the Sonic coins out this. But there's no more coins left. Actually, it's kind of quiet. You see, it's an echo in this.
How do you guys not care about body count? Because I do personally. Like, I don't know how you can just, like, not care. Like, if somebody has... Y'all are out here having 30 bodies? I don't even know 30 people!
Why are men wearing the shortest shorts? Like, why are you showing so much skin? I'm minding my business. I went to the Whole Foods. I've had a long... I walk out and I see this man in the shortest shorts, okay? Shorter than I would wear. And I can tell you, my gay radar is really good. That man should not be showing as much skin, okay? Well, it's like, well, you can't tell a man what to do. No, I can't tell a man not to show me his whole thoughts. For God's sake, it's the middle of a city. First of all, his legs were like so skinny, and I'm not trying to be mean. It's just like, sir, like, y'all need to stop showing that much skin. Like, are you still... The princess era has gone too far, okay? I'm like, it's very annoying because, like, now we're having to wear the same clothes. Now your shorts are shorter than mine. That's weird.
I thought they were saying not too long ago that men had no business talking about what women wore in the gym, talking about what women wore ever, and they should just shut up and let women do whatever they want. If you're insecure, then just say that sort of nonsense. Are you insecure?
I really cannot be friends with no bad bitch. Because what do you mean we finna go to this hotel room and make a quick $500? Who's we? I'm going to the phone to play with my Legos.
Okay, let's just cut right to the chase. I'm going on a Hinge date, severely overdressed, obviously, because what's new? Dress is from Madewell, Tory Burch purse. No idea what these shoes are. This guy and I, we're going to coffee, mind you. I've only been on one other coffee date before and it was like kind of spooky, so I'm a little nervous.
I mean, the fact that you're open to a coffee date is a pretty good sign, so hopefully you have a great time out there.
Okay, I gotta say something that's been bothering me. I am tired of seeing good Christian men completely scared to approach a woman because they don't want to seem creepy or make anyone feel uncomfortable. And look, I get it. There are boundaries and no one wants to feel unsafe. But let's be real. Some of you women out here have made it feel like any form of interest is a threat, okay? Like a man coming up and saying hi is suddenly a red flag. Now I'm over here, a woman that actually wants to be pursued, who is not about to chase a man, okay? And these dudes won't even make a move because they're too scared. And look, I don't blame them, honestly. But here's the thing. I still believe in men taking initiative, especially godly men who are supposed to lead in relationships. The Bible doesn't say, women, go find and lead your husband. No, it's a man who finds a wife. So no, I'm not making the first move, okay? I'm not gonna water down my conviction just because the culture changed. I want a man who is bold enough to approach with respect, clarity, and intention. So if you're a Christian man, I'm gonna say this. Stop letting fear of rejection and looking creepy stop you from being the man God called you to be. If your heart is right, your approach is respectful, and your intentions are pure, say something. Because women like me are out here waiting for y'all to step up.
You're not a wife. You're just a woman. You are not a wife. He who finds a wife finds a good... You're not a wife. You're just a woman. You don't do anything that a wife would do. You don't act like a wife would act. You are not a wife. I'm not coming to approach you. Number one. Number two, at what point do we start saying maybe these men are, let's say, 50% scared to approach, scared of the fear of rejection. And maybe the other 50% is, I'm just tired of dealing with you. I don't want to deal with you anymore. I don't care about your opinions, what you're saying, what you're talking about. You've turned me off and I don't want to be bothered. It's okay when women have that feeling, but somehow men should always be on board with what women say and how women be talking to them.
The women I'm scared of are the ones that say, I can wear whatever I want when I'm with my man. Meaning, Meaning, take advantage of the fact that, yes, you can wear what you want. Because, of course, we think our men are like bodyguards, right? They're like our personal bodyguards. But some women take it to the extreme of wearing like completely see-through clothing or wearing like bra and underwear outside. You know, people, there's outfits like that, wearing those really, really, really short skirts, stuff like that, stuff to like draw attention to them because they know their man will fight for them. And my dad always told me, whenever you have a man in your life, whether it's a male friend, an acquaintance, someone you're talking to, dating, husband, whatever, you never put your man in a situation willingly to where he has to defend you, himself, or the both of you. You never willingly put your man in danger. Ever. So that's why I say the women that I'm scared of are the ones that take advantage of the statement, I can wear whatever I want when I'm with my man. Now, me, when I was with my man last summer, now I did wear whatever I wanted, but I don't wear revealing clothes like that. And my shape just shapes in whatever I wear. I would never wear something so revealing to where it attracted the wrong attention, to where he had no choice but to physically defend me or potentially physically defend me. I would have never put him in harm's way on purpose just because I wanted to wear a specific outfit, if that makes sense. So yeah.
Makes perfect sense. You're trying to maintain your individuality, what you like, while considering him and what might draw too much attention to the both of you. That's really all that men ask.
No more of the ugly boyfriend trend because you dated that man. Okay? Now you're embarrassing yourself. Because I'm looking at you like, was there some type of waterboarding situation? Like, what's happening?
Dude in the comments said, you had that man. Dang. You had that man at the back. Jesus. You had that man at the back of your throat, and you think you embarrassed him.
3 reasons I'm single: because guys lack the big C word, communication. 2, most of the guys I've come across, they lack the effort. They don't want to put in the time or the effort. And 3, because they're afraid of me.
It don't matter what they say, I'm timeless.
There's nothing to be afraid of. You're walking around in a random Starbucks wasting their Wi-Fi.
Quick question for the over 30-year-old men. When you are putting still figuring it out as your relationship type on dating apps, does that mean that you peaked in college and you're just winging adulthood?
No, it just means they're minding their own business.
I just seen the video that said only in this generation will a female brag about paying her own bills. And it's only funny to me because only in this generation are the men not paying the bills. Oh, who said that? I know a whole bunch of niggas in my comments but her, but I don't give a fuck what y'all gotta say because ain't none of y'all doing better than me. For I was certified at 19, I moved out at 17 for my wife got her bills paid. None of us, like, yeah, back in the day, man paid the bills. Y'all are the same man who would get on here and be like, if you can't cook, clean, not the baddest bitch, the fattest ass, then I can't have you. Man could pick and choose the type of women that was gonna cook, clean, do the laundry and everything else like that because they were paying the bills. They didn't have a problem with going to work and coming home to a nice cooked meal, folks. Y'all don't go to work and come home. Y'all go to y'all mom's basement and then make think pieces about women paying their own bills. Like, yes, it's very much a brag in this generation. First of all, because cost of living is insane. Cost of living is insane right now. So yes, a female should always be able to brag about paying her own bills. Yes, I get it. That's being a simple thought. But back in the day, before this generation, my dad, my granddad, the man paid the bills, G. Like, stop trying to act like females is crazy for you being like, oh yeah, I pay my own bills. Man paid the bills back in the fucking. Yes, y'all get on here and say whatever I want to say, bro, but man used to pay the bills. Now they don't, so now females feel it like it's a bragging right. Females wouldn't feel like it was a bragging right if it was normal. If it was like, if they watched their mother pay their own bills and their grandma and their great-great do whatever, bro, it wouldn't be a bragging right. But it is a bragging right because Nick paying the bills and she don't need Nick not paying the bills. So she paying her own bills. Simple.
It's not really a flex. I mean, it's commendable that anybody can pay their bills, especially in this economy, but you're saying it to a man as if men haven't been doing this for a long, long time.
A man should never ask a woman what he brings to the table, what she brings to the table, because I believe, I'm a believer, that a man should have his own table and bring her into it. So basically, he should be the provider. He shouldn't be asking for 50-50. So what do you think about that?
I mean, I agree. I agree with a man providing, for sure, but to a certain extent.
Like,
let's say, for an example, if I have a partner, right? she doesn't have no kids with me or anything like that at all, she's gonna be in a different character. Like, let's say she's
Category.
She's gonna be somewhere else. Now, if she was to be the mother of my kids, for sure, she's gonna be in a different category. Also.
This is why I get so much backlash, because obviously you're not gonna give your all to just a woman from the street. You should, as a man, you should pick a good woman before you giving her your money.
There's not really much to think. If a man provides the table, he provides the plates, the silverware, the cups, all of the stuff is set up the way it should be, and he asks you simply to bring a side dish and a dessert. I've already got dinner prepared. I've got the venue and everything. A lot of women will kick up about that. The man is providing everything. Can you not do anything? Please do something. What are you... Hence, we come back to the question. What exactly are you bringing to the table? I'm walking out of this kitchen with steak, potatoes, whatever you want. I've got the drinks. I've got everything set up. What are you... And you walking out of the kitchen with nothing. No paper towels. No juice for us to drink, or wine, or whatever it is for us to drink. No, nothing. You're not adding anything to the table. Again, what are you bringing to the table?
Really quickly, can someone find me a video of a Christian man hopping on the internet telling us how his wife cheated and then God told him to stay with his cheating wife?
She asked for an example. People gave an example, and then they shot down the example. So this one is of the Keith and Raven Hartwell and her husband. She admitted, and they actually have the podcast still up, that she cheated. Somebody in the comments said, true, they fit the narrative, but she cheated once at the beginning of the marriage, and she gave him a hall pass to do the same, but he didn't want it. What? What? And then somebody comes back and says, well, it's one example out of more than 4 billion people. What? Yo, another woman comes back and says, I need another, please. Give me like 5 situations. What? Y'all ask for the example, you're giving the example, and then you say that's not enough? What? What's that woman that started a business? Laura, Dadvocate talks about her all the time. She started a whole business. Let's run it.
Turn off license music, and what we have here is the caption reading, things your husband did while he was in an affair with me. Part 2. I couldn't find part 1, but it's not important. The visual here is that we have this grown woman dancing, I guess we could call it that, the same way I would call what Ray Gun did competitive breakdancing as well. She's moving it, she's shaking it, and it reads, was on a trip with me on your wedding anniversary, telling me how much he loves me and how incredible our relationship is. No, really, just imagine this is you. You've just celebrated your wedding anniversary, one of many of them, with your spouse. And after finding out that it's all been a lie and they've been cheating on you for a significant period of time, you find the affair partner doing this while just rubbing salt right inside of your open wound. Just rubbing it all in. Cameron, isn't this the same woman that did the Kill a Spider song that you did a video on? Yeah, I have not been able to stop thinking about this. This is definitely a big follow-up. She's not going anywhere, guys. This is a business now, but we'll get into that. Look how proud she is. She's really cheesing it up. What else did he do while in an affair with you? He commented on your post about your anniversary, saying how much he loves you and how incredible your marriage is. And there she goes. She's waving her hands. She's shaking it. She's smiling. She's smizing even. Smiling with her eyes. Just open face bragging about the fact that your man
Now her man, something that she's very proud of, lied to both of you, played you both at the exact same time, using the exact same lines, giving none of them any actual credence or meaning, as it just disperses them wildly.
And there's plenty more. There's plenty more. Y'all just don't know the examples because y'all are not paying attention. But whether they're married or not, these women get online talking about how they took a man. Oh, I was in a relationship. I mean, you know. Anyways, there's plenty of them out here. Y'all are just not looking. We can go on forever about how these women be talking about, oh, I went here and I flew out here and I got him for this. And, you know, I really be doing this for my husband and I'm going to be doing X, Y, and Z, or my boyfriend. And, you know, I messed with his friend and he wasn't doing that for me. And it's okay for me to do X, Y, and Z because he wasn't providing me with all the stuff that I needed. I mean, what's that?
I'm trying to save my marriage after finding out that my wife had a 3-month affair with her boss.
Oh, man.
And
I'm sorry.
I don't know what to do.
What can you do? What can you do? Once again, this is too easy. It's too easy. Y'all be out here thinking that men are the devil, that it's just men that are out here doing this. Now, I'm not excusing it, but what I'm trying to say is y'all be acting like men are the only ones that are out here cheating, that are out here having an affair and then getting out here and spreading it. No. Women are out here acting a fool too. And there's just 2 examples that I found within 5 minutes. I wasn't even looking. I just know off the top of my head. I remember Lauren talked about something like that. I remember he has stuff on his show like this. We can keep going. But because y'all want the narrative to be that men are out here embarrassing women left and right, and women would never, then this is what you see. Modern women logic.
Can y'all tell me why it is a red flag if a man is 30 years old and doesn't have any kids? Why do women look at that as a red flag? Can some women tell me in the comments? I want to know. I want to hear what y'all got to say. I want to hear your thoughts. Everybody. But I hear women say this the most, that, girl, it's a red flag if he 30 years old, he ain't got no kids. Why though? Specifically, I would love for the women who think it's a red flag. No judgment. I just want to know, because I don't see it as a red flag, and I'm just interested to know, why do certain women see that as a red flag? What does it symbolize to you? And I know we can think the obvious. Oh, well, you know, if he's older and he doesn't have kids, that, you know, he may be, swinging with the same team or whatever. Like he might, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying? That he might be that. But I know a lot of men who are single and they work hard. They make good money and they don't have any kids, and they are straight. They're straight men. They've been in relationships with women. It's just that they are not married. And there are men out there who would prefer to be married before they start a family. And I think that is the disconnect. That's my thoughts. I want to know your thoughts though. Let me know in the comments, but I want to know your thoughts. I think for me, I think because I know men who are single and they're not married and they don't want any kids before, until they're married. They want to have a wife and then they want to have a family. And I mean, that is the typical way of how you're supposed to do it. But I think because we have so many people who are doing it outside of that order and they get used to that, we have, one of the biggest single mother rates out here, and so I think because the out of order norm, what is out of order has become the norm, people are surprised when there are individuals who actually want to do it the right way. When there are actually men and women who decide, you know what, I want to be married before I create a family, before I make children, it's odd. So that's why I think a lot of women are shocked by it, because they already have kids. They didn't think about marriage. They didn't prioritize marriage. They didn't, or even, solid, stable relationships where there's two parents in the household to raise that child. Because once again, if it takes two to make them, it takes two to take care of them, in my opinion. So I just think that's what I think, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I know, listen, it takes two parents. Well, in my opinion, you need two parents. It's not just the financial aspect, but also the mental and psychological aspect that a child needs when being raised. They need two parents. They need the male perspective and they need the female perspective. They need the mother and they need the father. They actually need to be raised by the parents, not by society, not by social media, not by anybody else. But it's definitely important to have two parents in the household to raise your child, to give them the best possible outcome. But I think because we live in a society where women have been told that it's okay to be a single mother, you can raise your child by yourself, you really don't need a man to do that, they're missing out the basic concept of what a child would really need when they're being raised. And I just think that because you do it doesn't mean that it's the best option, but because also it's become the norm, this is how a lot of people, especially women see it that way. Oh, I can raise my child by myself, I don't really need a man, I can do it all by myself. But then when it gets difficult, they're claiming the fathers are deadbeats and not around. But a father and a husband and all that was never a priority in the beginning. So if you never prioritize healthy, stable relationships with a marriage, with a man who would marry you and then create a family, you shouldn't complain about the consequences of that. Because if you understood the consequences, you would understand how important it is to have a husband, have a father for your child, and raise that child with both parents, as opposed to just having children and not understanding how that's going to affect the child being raised in a broken home or raised by a single mother. Y'all get what I'm saying? Y'all let me know if y'all get what I'm saying. Let me know in the comments, because I just was thinking about it and I'm just like, I understand it. And I think I know a lot of men who understand it as well. And that's why they don't have children out of wedlock, because they understand the importance of that. And they would rather not create a child unless they are creating it in a stable environment with a wife. You know what I'm saying? And there are some women that I know who get it and they're all married. But the single women, they don't seem to get it. I don't know. Y'all let me know your thoughts. I was just thinking about that. Y'all chime in.
In my opinion, it might be because he doesn't have any verification. He seems like he's too good to be true. Surely a man by this age would have something to show for it. Surely a man by this age would have been with a woman somewhere, and he would have been good enough to procreate with her. So even though I don't necessarily like that he has a kid with somebody else, I can handle it because it's proof that he actually is able to get another woman, and then that therefore makes him safe. It's kind of a weird way to think about things, but that's how some women think.
Okay, this needs to be said. Some of y'all women out here are having such a hard time finding a man because you are being delusional. And let me just explain. So here, say you have a few boxes that you want someone to check. Most common ones that I usually hear women saying they want is they want a man with money, right? I want him to have a nice car, a house, a good job, right? Okay. I want a man that's got a great body, fit, works out, like eats healthy, whatever. Okay, fair. I want a guy that's, loyal, doesn't talk to a bunch of girls, isn't like out dating. Like I just want a guy that's like loyal, chill, doesn't have a whole crazy roster talking to all these girls. Okay, fair. Those are all valid things to want. Meanwhile, though, some of the girls that want that are in between jobs, in a bunch of credit card debt, not trying to better themselves, and then I said them, and then lives. Better their lives. They're not working out, they're not eating clean, so they're not taking care of their body or their health. And then on top of it, they have a whole roster, they're out talking to a bunch of guys there, which is fair if that's what you want to do. But like, don't expect to find a guy that's like, oh yeah, like that's my dream girl. Like, I'm not out here talking to 8 million girls, but my dream girl, the one with the 15 guys on her roster, that's my dream girl. Like, that's just not how that's gonna work. Everything has a catch, right? So you might be able to be like, a hot mess financially, whatever, and find a guy to swoop in, come take care of all of that for you. But the odds are, if you're also like not checking all the other boxes and they're down to come in and handle all of that, the odds are is there's going to at least be one box they don't check, right? They could be attractive and be down to pay all of your bills, but they're probably not gonna be faithful. Like, I'm just telling you guys, like, if you want somebody that's here, you need to be here, okay? And we're so high on this don't settle horse. Like, I'm not gonna settle. I know what I want. I'm not gonna settle. Meanwhile, we're not elevating ourselves. Yes, if you don't wanna settle and the bar is here, keep it there. But if you are here, you're gonna have to figure out how to get here. Or you're gonna have to find somebody that's here. You have to be compatible with who you're with. And it's just, that's the truth. So, y'all, I'm just telling you, some of you guys are heartbroken and having such a hard time dating because you're not looking yourself in the mirror, literally and figuratively, and saying, okay, what kind of candidate of a partner am I? You have to be realistic with yourself. You just have to. Because chances are, a lot of your friends aren't gonna tell you the truth. A lot of your friends aren't gonna be like, well, maybe you should do X, Y, and Z. Like, maybe like that's why the guys you're interested in aren't interested in you. Like, your friends aren't gonna tell you that, you know, you're 30 pounds overweight, or that, you know, maybe the fact that you keep a crazy messy house is a turn off, or they're not going to tell you that maybe you not having a job or something is a turn off. Like, they're not going to tell you that, but I'm just here. Take it as you will. Maybe this is going to be someone's sign to like either get it together or look for somebody that's a little more compatible with them, because there's nothing wrong with, like, if you don't want to take care of yourself, there's nothing wrong with not wanting to take care of yourself. If you aren't super ambitious, like, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, different strokes for different folks, believe me, right? But I don't know. I can't even.
The problem is, a lot of women, even the delusional ones, when left to their own devices, will hear you and be like, you know what? You're right, girlie. I want to start hanging around you. I need to be better. But then they'll watch a TV show and be like, you know what? I'm good the way I am. I'm perfect and unique, and any man would be happy. He would be so privileged. It would be an honor for him to have me. Never settle. What he did is the bare minimum.
Hey you guys, so happy Sunday. I wanted to pop on here and just do a brief response video to the last video I'd posted last week about dating, and just after the traction it seems to have gotten and just the hundreds and hundreds of comments that I received. I do have some feedback and just like takeaways that I got from the video. You know, with that amount of comments, there's obviously like good, bad, and ugly. And it's always a scary place when you're posting a video like that. You never know what feathers it's gonna ruffle for other people. But yeah, one of the first things that I noticed was how butthurt some of y'all were with my usage of the word mans. I'm from Philadelphia, and like one of the things that at least I do is I add an S to the ends of some words, and if that bothers you so much, I'm not even sorry. Like, it's really just not that deep. It's not that serious, and it's not coming from a place of like disrespect, but it was just so silly and funny to me that guys were being like, well, the first thing I would do is stop using the word mans, and you're just a walking red flag if you use the word mans. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, bro, chill. Anyway, in all seriousness, one of the I don't know, the most common comment that I received was along the lines of the one I have on the screen here. Is just like, y'all are just not approaching women anymore. And there's a lot of hope and optimism in that, but you know,
for a multitude of different reasons. Fear of rejection, being embarrassed with that, being labeled or identified as a creep or a weirdo, and just X, Y, and Z. And I understand that. I think over time, I can see where men approaching women can be considered like a weird and just kind of like creepy act of in this day and age. And I also saw a lot of comments being like, women have ruined it, the Me Too movement, feminism, all that stuff, and saying that the women are the ones that need to approach now. And you know, people saying that I'm coming on here and complaining on TikTok and like I know exactly what I need to do. Again, like, first off, I wasn't complaining. I was literally like coming from a place of genuine curiosity. But I also just, to say all that, women have to be guarded. We have to be cautious. We have to kind of have a wall up instinctually, and just like as women now in this day and age, so many scary things happen, and I just think by default, like the neck on our hairs like stand up in a way if a man or a stranger approaches us. Like that's just kind of how it is now. And like it's unfortunate, and I think it does kind of paralyze both sides, and kind of keep us in this like stuck state of limbo of like, okay, who's gonna be the one to like make the first move? And you know, like I said, fear of rejection was a big reason that I saw, and just like not sure whether they're taken or in a relationship, and all those things are valid. And I just think going back to like feeling rejected as human beings, like that's not a good feeling. It stings no matter what. And obviously, like for me, that's a factor in like approaching a man myself, because like I said, a lot of people were like, oh, you should be the one to like approach now. And it's just like, I get that. Like if I see something I like, obviously I might feel an inclination to go get it, right? But no matter how confident and secure you are as a person, rejection hurts. But at the end of the day, like, what's it to, like, you shot your shot and took a risk, and it didn't execute, and you just move on, right? But yeah, those were just like some of the things. It looks like we're all male, female, like however you identify, we're all kind of like in the same boat of just like things are really unclear and kind of unsettling. And I don't know, I'm not feeling very optimistic, to be honest, and just kind of taking advantage of being by myself and just kind of in this like lonesome era. I think there can be a lot of peace with that, right? Like trying to find the like silver lining in all of this. It's hard for everyone right now in dating, and we all come from past experiences with dating as well, and just like we're all doing the best that we can, I hope. So yeah, moral of the story is just like we're all in this kind of like sinking ship of dating, and it sucks. And I don't know, this like topic of discussion obviously like didn't make me feel very optimistic or hopeful, but that's okay. Like I'm a very true believer that obviously everything happens for a reason, but what's meant to be will find you. So,
well, I guess I would say what a lot of men would say. You, at some point, you know, let me say this. If y'all continue to say we're so scared of X, Y, and Z, just like y'all want the men, I don't find that women provide solutions that are actually going to work. Don't approach me at the gym. If you're going to approach me, say this, and then it's followed and it actually doesn't work. Like, not at all. We'll approach us at singles events, and you approach them at singles events, and then they still give you attitude. Like, at least say if you don't like somebody coming up and approaching you at a singles event, like, hey, I wasn't really interested in him. I didn't find him attractive. This guy looked like a rat. Like, why would you ever approach me? Even if that's what you're thinking in your head, most men are worried that's how they're going to be perceived. And even if they do everything that you're asking them to do when you approach and you're just not attracted to them, you could be a lot more graceful than what you actually are. So if a man comes up to you in the time and place that you want him to come up to you, but I'm just not attracted to him. Oh, no, thank you. I appreciate you coming up to me. Or if you want to have a conversation, whatever it is, figure out a way to say, I'm not attracted or I'm not interested. Figure out a way to do it quietly. Figure out a way to let the man down gently. Because that's exactly what you want from a man. Well, let me down easily. Don't make me look bad. Like, if you don't embarrass me. That's what a lot of women say. Don't embarrass me. Don't make me look like a fool. Don't make me come out here and hard launch you on a social media platform where I just let everybody know, hey, we're dating. And then maybe a day later, you do something to embarrass me. Let me down gently. Like, if you're going to say I'm not interested, or if we're going to break up, let me down gently. Hey, let's do it in private. Let's talk. Let's make it a mutual, amicable split to where we both talked about it and we just, kind of made a social media post jointly saying, hey, everything's fine between us. We're good. We're just, kind of going in different directions. People are going to be disappointed, but nobody's actually going to be embarrassed. But then y'all will go back and embarrass the man. Y'all will go back and say, this man looks like he's snuck on earth. Why would that man approach me? Why would that man even come up to me? Y'all need to date within y'all's tax bracket. Y'all need to date within y'all's attractive. If I look out of your league, then that's probably because I am. And then you turn around and say, well, I was meaning those guys were out of my league. Why are you not approaching me? You're well within my league. You're actually above me. Because he saw how rude and mean you are. You're not a good, well, I'll be a good person to you. You're not a good, if you would treat somebody like that, you are not a good person. I'm telling you, well, I went to therapy and I did the inner work. You're not a good person. You're just not. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Some of these ladies out here are horrible people, and men have to deal with that crap. Get it together. A man is not going to approach you. You think he's a creep. You're not attracted to him. You don't like him in any way. And sometimes you want that man to spend all of his money on you and then be like, oh, well, he did that. I told him that. Never take accountability for how you guys continue to show up in the dating arena. You never take accountability for how you guys show up in relationships. Oh, well, he was a narcissist. He didn't like this. He didn't want to do that. And y'all never say to us, well, you know what? I did talk a lot. And I said some things that would probably hurt the average person's feelings. He said something to me in confidence, and then, in a fit of rage, I just got upset and I was frustrated that day. I shouldn't have said that. But I said something that, made it, he was very vulnerable. And that was a very vulnerable moment for him. And I used that against him. And I never really, to this day, never really apologized to him. So that was on me. Y'all never say that. Y'all will actually say something similar to that and then be like, but you know what? He deserved it because of X, Y, and Z. Just apologize. Just do better. And now we're talking about dating and relationships and men approaching. Y'all do better. Y'all want men to do better. You do better.